The member for Curtin.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. My question is to the Treasurer. Will the Treasurer inform the House how Australia's economic recovery from the impacts of the COVID-19 pandemic compares to that of other countries? And will the Treasurer outline the pathway for the Australian economy's return to growth?
The Treasurer.
Well, thank you very much, Mr Speaker, and I thank the member for Curtin for her question and acknowledge her extensive experience as a legal academic before coming to this place, including being the Vice-Chancellor of Notre Dame University. Now, Mr Speaker, today the OECD released an important report. It painted a pretty grim picture of the global economic outlook, suggesting that the global economy will contract by around 6% this year. To put that in context, at the height of the GFC in 2009, the global economy contracted by 0.1%, Mr Speaker. And the OECD talked about this being the deepest recession since the global depression, Mr Speaker. But the positive news for Australia out of this OECD report was that the economy here will contract by around 5% this year but grow by around 4% next year, and that we have performed very well compared to other nations around the world. Japan is expected to contract by 6%, the United States by 7.3%, Canada by 8%, New Zealand by 8.9%, Italy by 11.3%, France by 11.4%, and the United Kingdom by 11.5%. And the OECD pointed out that, in their words, our massive macroeconomic support has made a real difference. It supported people in jobs and helped protect livelihoods. And the cash flow boost, the instant asset write-off, the JobKeeper program have all been very significant, including in the honourable member's electorate, for Jane King at Barchetta Cafe on Cottesloe Beach, who said that she used the instant asset write-off to go and purchase a new industrial oven, a new industrial pizza oven, and new sinks and new dishwashers, Mr Speaker. And she talked about the JobKeeper program, in her words, being a lifesaver. And she talked about her employees, 14 employees. She said employees are like family. And I'm sure she speaks for employers right around the country. And she said the JobKeeper program enabled her to keep those 14 employees in a job, and the other supports from the government. So, Mr Speaker, the Prime Minister laid out at the National Press Club clearly a supply-side reform agenda, skills, industrial relations and more flexible labour markets, tax reform, infrastructure, our 10-year $100 billion program, and of course the adaptation of new technology, for example, through the consumer data right. This is what we are doing to drive the Australian economy forward. We know there's going to be a higher debt burden in the future, but the answer is not higher taxes, it's through growing the economy.